Hi, this is Angela Anderson. Thanks for joining me here at Thankful Art. I'm going to be painting some landscape painting tonight with you. This is acrylics. Got my husband Mark with me.
Hey there, everybody.
He's man in chat, so we'll be taking questions during the video and be painting this live. Let's get started. I don't know. Every time I try to change up my intro, it always goes wrong. Sorry, welcome. Glad you're here. Hope you are having a good evening. We're going to be painting a really fun landscape tonight. This is our last of our Purple Color Crush series that we're doing this month. Next month we're doing yellow. So if yellow is your favorite color, you're in for some good yellow tutorials. Yellow is like my least favorite painting or color to paint with, so it'll be an interesting month. June will be, but I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it because these have been good to challenge myself to try new things and get out of my comfort zone. So that's what it's all about. So this painting is going to be of the, I need to see the picture. Huh? Thank you. This picture taken by my cousin, actually, I live in California, Bethany Lorene, on Instagram if you want to look her up. But she took this beautiful lupine purple landscape, posted it just when I was making my purple schedule, and I was like, I think I'm gonna paint that, please. Yes, please. So it was perfect for us. So lots of purples. I think I'm going to add a little bit more purple and blues to the distant mountains and maybe a little more color in the sky. But other than that, I mean, it's a beautiful composition. It's got some really nice angles and things. So let me go over our colors real quick tonight. Let me fix my little thing there. My thing got off. Burnt Umber, Burnt Sienna, Yellow Oxide, Cadmium Yellow Light, India Yellow Hue, Cadmium Red Light, Quinacridone Magenta, Dioxazine Purple, Ultramarine Blue, Phthalo Blue Green Shade, Cobalt Teal, Phthalo Green Yellow Shade, Green Gold. This one is Neutral 8 Gray, Unbleached Titanium, and Titanium White. This one's the only Liquitex color. All the rest are gold and heavy body, and the links are down in the description for where to buy these and what, you know, the list, because I went over those fast. This one is Satin Glazing Liquid. And I'll be using some of my brush set brushes tonight. I can finally talk about it. We're going to be actually doing a little, the first two videos in the series when I created this series. The links are down in the description if you want to buy them now. But yay, got my artwork on it. I curated this set with Princeton. Super excited about it, and yeah, super excited to share it with you guys. Finally, it's been like 2 years in the making. So anyhow, we're gonna use it tonight along with some other brushes, and I'm gonna start out with a large filbert because this is a decent sized canvas. This is a 9 by 12 canvas, 9 inch by 12 inch canvas, and so I'm just going to get a little bit of water and we're going to put some color down here. And let me see, before I start, I'm going to get some chalk here. I'm just going to very roughly kind of mark out our boundaries and things. We're going to have these purple flowers coming from here all the way down, like, you know, this large area in here. But we have a very small area of sky. And just all these like little distant mountains back here, very faint. And then this one kind of rolls off like that. So we've got a crisscross here and then another little pie kind of right in between piece. And then another large one. This kind of comes off this way, and then another large one coming down here. And then another area kind of right in here where it's sort of more foreground-ish stuff happening. So this one hits like right up under, maybe a little higher than that, like right up under the halfway mark, almost straight across, or like a little bit of an angle. And then there's these bushes that kind of come down this way a little bit. All right, so we've got a lot of crisscrossing. I don't know if you can even see that with the bright light shining on it, but that's going to be the idea there. And I might even put some bushes up in here somewhere just to break up that line. So, but we'll see. All right, let's get going here. So we don't have that much of a large area up in the background here. And I am going to just start with white canvas. You could put a color on here if you wanted to. I was thinking maybe pinkish or orangey, kind of yellow or something like that might look good. But I think I'm going to go ahead and work in, I think my color scheme for tonight is going to be like a pink, mauve, like pinkish, with some yellow and slight golden, but mostly like yellowish. You've got a little bit of that in the photo there. So yellow, pink, and then to purple, and then like a little bit of the green and teal blues, but a lot of faint purpley blues going on. So I don't know why I'm saying that. We'll just talk. I don't know why I'm talking so much. Let's just paint. Paint it. All right, so I'm getting my cadmium yellow light. I'm going to do that light yellow in the background. I was saying pink a lot. I meant yellow. When I was talking about that just now, I kept saying pink. All right, so I got a little bit of my three warmest colors here. The palette here is laid out kind of like the color wheel. So the colors next to each other, they're getting gradually, you know, cooler as they go this way, whatever. This one is our warmest red here, the Cadmium Red Light. And we'll use a little bit of that with the Quinacridone Magenta to make kind of a more watermelon red, kind of slightly pinkish red. All right, so I'm going to put some of that up there. And I'm just working into this wet yellow here to tint it. And I think I'm just going to do these kind of wispy clouds. There were some other pictures of wispy clouds, but they were kind of whitish, and so I'm just going to make them kind of pink instead. Just give it. And then get some blue and ultramarine blue and white. And mix that in. Make sure this isn't too orangey because it'll make my sky really gray. So I'm going to add a little bit more blue and a little bit more white if it looks too gray. And then I'm going to use that and come kind of opposite. It is kind of a purpley blue color. You can see it kind of that reddish pink in there. Sort of turned it gray, which is fine. We can just put this down and then we'll make it a little bit more blue. I don't know. I think I probably could have done the smaller brush since it's such a small area. Yeah. Okay, I'm getting that idea. Then I'm going to get a little bit of the phthalo blue and the white, and this is going to be much more blue, real blue. I'm going to get that in the corner. Anywhere it touches the yellow, it's going to go kind of green, so make sure that yellow is kind of dry before you go over it. All right. And that's pretty much what I'm going to do in this guy. I'm going to keep it pretty pale, I think. It's kind of foggy, cloudy looking in our picture. I'm going to get a little bit more of the white. Maybe put a little bit more of the white right along the horizon line, and then just kind of use it to smush out any harsh transitions, so that white will just kind of help blend between the colors if needed. My blue chalk kind of turned my sky green right there. I didn't really think that through very well. Okay, that's good enough, and I might go back in and give it a second coat. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it's good. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit more of that pink and just kind of pull it over. So you got a little bit of purple up there, but mostly yellow. And the yellow will look really nice against the purples that we're going to have in this, and also it'll be in our greens too. So we'll have a little bit of that color down low. And we've got 2 more swatch colors to add to our chart to fill it up, so I'm going to be on the lookout for purples we haven't done before to add there. Right. Yeah, I think I might use just a little bit of just the magenta and a little bit of white, and maybe go maybe a little bit of that, but maybe do a little bit. Just the littlest bit. I think people get caught up or have problems with skies when they add too much paint too soon. Like they kind of bloat up the paint too heavy on their brush. Skies, clouds especially, you kind of want to keep wispy, think vapor, you know, thin paint. All right.
But we're not vaping, right?
No.
Okay, just make sure.
No. All right, so I'm going to get some ultramarine blue and a little bit of the white. Easy way to do your distant mountains is to add your sky color to the mountains. So I'm going to add this blue. And our mountain color is going to be green, but I'm going to, so we could start with green and add the green to the
Your main camera is
not in focus.
No.
Not focusing at all?
No, that's not focused. It's blurry.
Come on, there it goes. I think it's because the light is so bright
Okay.
shining on it. I might have to lower the intensity of the light. Is it focused now?
Yeah, I think once you get more details on the, or darker colors on the canvas, it will. It was just not sure what to focus on it, since it's all kind of light. Yeah, it's gone blurry again.
There we go. It's on my... I need to get a little bit of that yellow, which was my distant color. I'm going to get blue. And I want to be just slightly darker than that sky. So there we go. All right. I've switched to the 8 flat here. Right, then I'm going to go a little bit darker still. And here I'm going to... Yeah, it's not showing up as much darker, so I'm going to get a little bit more dark. Getting the ultramarine blue and phthalo blue, just adding it to this light blue color. This color that I was adding up in the sky mostly, it's probably going to be very similar, just maybe a little bit darker than that color there. I do kind of wish that I have something behind this, because where it's leaving these white spots would be color coming through, and I think it would be nicer to have like a little color there. So I do kind of wish that I had just picked a color and done back here, but I think it'll be all right. All right, so as I'm coming down, I'm going to add a little bit more white to this. And it's also kind of fighting me a little bit too, because the canvas is dry. And so I'm really having to work to get that paint. You see how I'm having to really push it to get it to go down into the canvas. So if I had some color under here, or if I had, is it still not focusing? There we go. if I had some color under here, or had some water on here, that would help too. I can try spraying it with a little bit of water. That'll kind of open up the pores. Uh-oh, my light turned off. I just need to plug it in. Thanks. All right, so these mountains are going to start to get a little bit green. So I'm going to get some of the Cobalt Teal with my Ultramarine Blue. There we go.
Is that better?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Hopefully it doesn't catch fire.
I know. All right, going to get a little bit of my sky color. Add that. I might add just a little bit of purple too. I'm going to do a little bit back in here. And if I add a little bit of white to it, it'll just make it not have that so much of the transparent canvas showing through. So I'm going to add a little bit of white to it. Okay, so close to the same value as over here, but just a little different tint, a little bit more purple there. Okay, and then I'm going to start with my green. So I'm going to get some of the Phthalo green yellow shade. Now this is going to be way too green, so I'm going to grab the green gold, which is more yellow. And then I'm going to add it to these colors that I've already got going on. So I'm just going to get this, which was that color there, and just mix that green into that. And if it's too dark, then we can add other colors. Yeah, it's still a little bit saturated, so I'm going to add a little bit more blue to it. Get a little bit of this color and add it. There we go. All right, get some white. Add that in. There we go. And we're keeping these colors pretty pastel, pretty soft. This hill actually comes up to right where that one is, almost even with it. And then cuts in front of that a little bit. And off over here. Okay, the nice thing about these brushes is that you can really kind of push the paint around. So I do like that about them. The flat is a little bit more, it's like longer than the bright, so it is a little bit less pushy, if that makes sense. Like it's a little bit more flexible. I'm gonna kind of blend that out. These sort of don't have a defined edge right there. Just soften that off. But the bright didn't hold in as much paint. The bright was like a little shorter than this one. And I like a brush that holds a lot of paint. And then these ones can do lines for days. Like you can just do lines and lines and lines. So that was one of the other things that I liked about why I chose this one over like a shorter flat. Or shorter bright, I should say. Technically, because this one is a flat. All right, I'm gonna get some green gold and some unbleached titanium. And Then I'm gonna add some like burnt sienna to tone it down. And maybe add in some of that green from the sky. Or from over here, not the sky, the hillside. Can't say my words. Alright, and then I'm just gonna kind of pick a spot and just do some little pull downs through. You can wait for this first layer to dry if you want. Mine's still pretty wet, so it's letting me kind of add to it, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay. And then again, kind of soften it off, maybe where it's coming down. It's a little bit of white. All right. Looks good. And then we're going to, and I'm also, if you see these streaks in here, I'm also going along the slope of the mountain with the streaks, so that if they stay there, they're gonna look like we meant to do that. So I'm gonna keep your brush strokes going the direction that you want those streaks to, or that mountain slope to be heading. That makes sense. Okay. All right. Now for in here, we're going to start to get more vibrant. I'm still going to keep it slightly less vibrant than down here, just to kind of give it some distance, but it's definitely going to amp up on the intensity. And I think I might just go ahead and fill this bottom area with some of the dark purpley color. So I'm going to get purple and phthalo green, and I'm going to spray this part of the canvas so that it goes on. There we go. So much easier when it's got a little bit of moisture on it. And I'm not going to worry about my flowers right now, because we'll put those flowers on over the top of all this. We just want some really dark green in here. So I'm getting that purple, and might even add a little bit of ultramarine blue. I can add some burnt umber, just any of the darkest colors. You can see which ones are on the palette, which ones are darkest. That's what I'm adding here, just to give this area a nice dark undertone. Get a little bit more green. Phthalo green and Dioxazine Purple make a really pretty dark color, and it's really nice for foliage. It just gives it a really nice cool undertone, but it's not a, it doesn't look purple, and or too purple at least. Okay. So the videos that I've got coming out for my brush set is going to show you kind of different, each brush on, I guess it's Friday the 29th. We'll have a brush stroke tutorial, so it just kind of shows you, introduces each brush and what it can do, the different kind of brush strokes you can practice with it. And then on Sunday, it'll have the 31st, we'll have the shorter version of the tutorial, and then probably later next week or sometime we'll do the full version of the tutorial. It might even just come out on Monday. I'm not really sure if we're gonna wait on that, or I might even just do it the same day. I haven't decided yet, but because I know some people like the longer versions of the tutorials, not the sped up version. So I have both. I have a brush strokes, and then I have a mushroom tutorial using the brushes.
So for those who came in late,
yes,
can you show the brushes again?
Yes. It's got a 4 round, a filbert, a 6 filbert, an 8 flat, and a 4 angle bright.
Nice.
Yeah.
got your paintings on there too.
I know. It does.
Where's my name?
Your name's not on here. But
Oh.
mine's here.
What?
Sorry. I didn't consult you for that.
I can see that.
All right, I'm going to add this yellow color that we used up here to this purple color down here, and I'm just going to use that to fill in this section here. I can tell that my canvas is starting to dry because it's not wanting to, that paint's not wanting to accept the, or the canvas is not wanting to accept the paint. And you can tell when it's got the little, you can just brush over and it does that, you know, it's not like penetrating down into the canvas. I'll try spraying with a little bit of water again. And get the phthalo green, and use some yellow oxide this time. Ooh, that's good. So I want it to be kind of a mid-tone here. I got those lines. I didn't need those lines. I was just showing how to use the brush there. So make sure you don't do that part. Unless you want to have to try to cover them. All right, so this part is just got a nice slope coming down here. And then we'll have some little bushes and things that we'll add to this line. There we go. Yeah, so you can kind of see we got gradually darker as we came closer and more saturated. Down here at the bottom we'll have the really brighter colors and stuff. All right, so let's switch to a little bit smaller brush. We can get the filbert here. And I think I got some paint on it earlier. Nope, I guess it's all right. This should be dry up here. So this is where if we want to make any edits to our sky, give it a second coat, we can do that now. I might get a little bit of my pink and yellow, cadmium yellow light. And just go back over some of these areas that are a little bit, look a little patchy if needed. Not a lot of paint on my brush and not really applying a ton of paint here, just trying to let it blend in there. I want a little bit more orange on this side, kind of blending out, and a little bit more blue on this side maybe. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. And then we can use this color in glaze a little bit with it, and just get a little bit of glaze or some water and put it over my mountain there and here. Might even use a little bit of the yellow with the white. Just add that haze that you can see in the picture. Let's kind of soften off that top edge of these. And again, kind of just go in that diagonal. Soften it off. You can just mix a new color if you want to go solid with the color and don't want to glaze. That's fine too. Either way works. All right. Get a little bit of the ultramarine blue and white. I still had a little bit of that yellow in my brush. use it. Go a little bit higher here. And just add maybe some little dibby dabs to make it look like there's some stuff going on back there. Not gonna fill it in solid with this color, just a few little dabs. Bring that up just a little bit more. Okay. Get some white. Pull it back this way. Yeah, we're gonna have promotional stuff happening on my social media all week for the next couple weeks for the brush set too. We're gonna do some giveaways and things like that also, so you can keep an eye on for that. On Instagram mostly, so if you want to follow me on Instagram, I'll be sharing it there. It's Thankful Art on Instagram. Just look for me under that at Thankful Art. And Princeton will be sharing it on their main page too. Princeton brush. Alright, just clearing off some space here so I can work. Most of these colors are dry now, or getting dry, so can't really use them when they're getting dried out. I need some more white too. Okay. How's everybody doing tonight? Seems kind of quieter. You're not talking much.
They're doing good.
Good.
We've had a couple of people have some issues trying to use the link.
Oh, really?
Yes. One person said that they clicked on the Blick link. They can't get the set to go into their cart.
Interesting.
I tried it, and it does go into my cart. So I don't know, hopefully... I don't know if it's
you have to add a +1. The Blick's cart's a little weird. You have to plus it and add a 1 to it, and then add to cart with the cart button. Sometimes, depending on where you're searching it from. So, don't know.
Yeah, me either. I don't know if it was if they're
Could be
they're from
a
another
different country, maybe.
Yeah, if they're from another country, if they just need to go search for Blick and go that way, if it opens a different.
You can go to my other link that's down in the description.
The other Blick link.
The other Blick link, not the direct link.
Right.
And it's at the bottom of that list, the supplies list.
Okay.
And so try it that way too.
Okay.
What?
Nothing. I'm just trying to problem solve here.
Mm-hmm. Which is difficult because you don't really know how it works. So.
Exactly. I don't know how
You're not the one setting it up.
Exactly, from behind the scenes here.
Yeah. Okie doke. I think I'm going to get out, well, I guess I'll still use this one. I don't know. I'm going to do these distant mountains with kind of some purple, I think. Purple. And maybe a little bit of that green. And some unbleached titanium. Maybe a little cobalt teal. And the Dioxazine purple. Okay, so that one is Unbleached Titanium. And phthalo green, yellow shade, a little bit of cobalt teal. Let's see. This feels like an interesting color that we might want on our chart. Yeah, kind of like a grayish purple. So we already did the purple and green that we use down here on our chart. So this is a kind of a purpley gray. We'll add to our chart. Add some water just to thin it out so we see the undertones. Okay, that one is DP, Dioxazine Purple plus white plus Unbleached Titanium, so plus UT plus Phthalo Green PG plus CT Cobalt Teal. Okay. Did it work for them? Are they getting it to work?
I don't have an update.
Okay. We'll have to check it. Adding some Ultramarine Blue and Phthalo Green here too. Ultramarine Blue and burnt sienna here to that purpley color. Yeah, okay. So we use that as our distant color, but you can tell it's way too dark. So I need some of that phthalo green or the green gold, phthalo green mixture that we had in those distant mountains. I think it had burnt sienna in it. And I'm going to mix that in with this so I have a more of a mid-tone color, a little bit closer match. There we go, to that color. And then just kind of brush off the edge. Okay. And then do a little bit more up here. Kind of just pick a spot and just sort of do kind of a diagonal dippy dabs. This brush has that rounded tip so you can get kind of those little bush-like shapes. As I get closer, I'm going to kind of use that darker purple color. And then wipe it out and get some of the softer color and sort of just blend out the bottom of it with that. Let's get some of this.
So this picture's in California?
Yes, I believe so. That's where she lives, either.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking Northern California somewhere.
Right.
On her Instagram page it says, because I think she said where it was she was at.
Looks like she was outside.
I don't know why I did it there. You're not going to be able to see it that far away. I don't want it right there. Don't put the trees right there. Don't do that.
We'll put Stickman right there.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry.
Yeah, standing on the top of the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Kind of just trying to soften that off a little bit right there. Because I want these to be darker. So I want these ones back here to be softer. A little bit farther away looking. Okay. Bring this side up a little bit. I kind of got it going down too much right there. Okay, there we go. And this is all behind our flowers. So, I mean, honestly, you could just do this kind of thing, you know, on here. It wouldn't, you don't have to get too fussy with this part that's in the distance. Let it be a little softer, a little less defined. Right, and then we'll do a little bit darker here. So I'm going to get, let me see if I can find this post of hers, if you want me to tell you where it's at exactly.
Oh, that's okay.
She said, oh, thank you, yes. So, yes. So it's Bethany, Bethany Lorene, Bethany Lorene. Bethany, oh, sorry. Marks.
I'm trying to paste the link that you gave me.
Yeah. I just wanted to get permission, so I didn't put it in the description yet, but I'll put it down in this. Whoops.
That's not me.
Sorry. That was me. Let me turn off my sound so I don't do that again.
At least mine was your voice.
That's true.
Okay, I posted a link.
Lupine Fields, California. It doesn't say where it's at.
California. That's good enough.
Yeah.
It's not a very big state.
The video is awesome though. It's got lots of video of this area. Very pretty. All right. How are we doing on time? Okay. We're doing good. Let's start with the flowers soon. So let's go ahead and mix up the rest of our greens that we're going to use, because these are all going to be pretty much in the same family. All of these down in here, and I am out of greens, so I'm going to get some more.
So apparently Blick is experiencing problems.
Blick is experiencing
There's a message on their website.
Oh, interesting.
The Amazon link is working.
Okay. Yeah, the thing with the Blick is that's nice is that if you spend, I think it's $79.
Yeah, it's free shipping.
It's free shipping.
Over $79.
So if you get, I'm not saying to do this. I'm just saying if you get 2, then you save yourself the $12 shipping.
And you have a set to give away.
Exactly. There you go. So you get the second set. So technically you get the second set for like $30-something instead of.
That's women math.
That's right. Isn't that how that works?
I think it is. You have a set for the right hand and a set for the left hand.
Well, one set is 50-something, and then 2 sets are 80. So you're saving yourself $30.
Carry the one.
Exactly.
Check.
Right?
Sure.
Isn't that how it works? That's sale math. I think the women know what I'm talking about. We've all done that. So surely you need a canvas or something that'll make up that. I don't think we're going to have any problems making up the difference is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I never seem to have that problem is making my free shipping on Blick. I'm always, okay, I don't know how I got so much paint in my hands, where it came from. At least it's not on my canvas where it's not supposed to be. So I'm sure I'm going to find something that's covered with paint somewhere.
And the Amazon link's got several pictures. Pretty cool.
Oh, yeah?
Your brushes with the painting.
Oh,
and
it does.
and
Oh, cool.
Nature brush set. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that they'd done that.
Oh, yeah. They went all out there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Be sure to leave comments, too, please. That helps a ton. Like, if you buy it on Amazon, you know, leave a comment and share pictures of something you've painted with it and that kind of thing. That all helps. That's pretty sweet.
I'm just going to stare at your picture.
You're
Amazon link
being creepy over there.
Yeah.
It's all right. You're allowed. You're the only one allowed to be creepy.
Can I make comments on Amazon about your picture?
Yeah. She's so pretty. I've known her since she was 15. True story.
Okay, that might be.
But you were only 17 at the time, so it wasn't creepy then.
It wasn't creepy then.
All right. Oh my gosh, this thing just keeps going and going. I think I've stripped this one. It does not want to close. There we go. Just realized that was not going to be enough over here. Okay, so there's my green. So let me think what color I want to use for my background green. I think I want, this is obviously way too like, in your face saturated. So I think I'm going to just start by adding a yellow that'll tone it down, which is that yellow oxide, which will make it a nice neutrally green color, but it's really made it a lot lighter, right? So it's a little bit less, we won't be able to get a dark out of this unless we mix something else into it. So, but that'll work for kind of some of our midtones, and I think I might want to go a little bit more yellow than this even. So I might get, let's go ahead and get some of this India yellow. Okay. I think it still wanted more neutral than this, so I'm going to go ahead and add burnt sienna. I'm just going to keep adding colors until it's neutralized. That's, you can see how little the burnt sienna I'm adding though. Not a lot of burnt sienna, just a little bit. Okay, so that's good. I think I still want it more yellow, but this is getting closer to the kind of green that I want. I want kind of a neutralized green that's on the yellow side. Which this is pretty much the color that we used for this section here already. You know, it's pretty close here. So let's scrape this up and save it. And then I've got plenty on my knife here that I can still work with. And I'm going to go ahead and grab a big glob of cadmium yellow light and see what I can get from that. So that's going to be way bright. Look at how bright that is. Ooh, neon. But that's not really the green that I want, because it's really going to clash with my purple and attract attention to itself too much. I want it to be a little bit more neutral so it kind of blends in a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and add some yellow oxide, and that'll take it down to a more neutralized color. That's pretty close to what I'm seeing in my reference photo. Although it's still pretty bright. It looks brighter on the camera than it does in person. That's weird. Didn't notice. There, that's the color that I'm seeing. I think that'll work. I'm gonna save that and then use what's left on my knife here and pick up a good glob of the India yellow and rest of my unbleached titanium. Just kind of both of those. And get myself a really highlighted green out of this. The brightest. So I got mid, light, and lighter. And then I needed dark also. So we'll do another dark. Okay, this is closer to the color that I want for my highlighted hill there. I might go a little bit more yellow with this, but we'll see. It's amazing how much yellow is in the greens, the highlights and greens. And that is chlorophyll that we're seeing. Whenever the green plants and things get into sunlight, I'm going to go ahead and use that yellow and add green gold to it and add some more of this unbleached titanium, and I'll get another more yellow green here out of it. Those greens go real yellow because that chlorophyll in sunlight shines yellow through the leaves. Perfect. Okay, so this we'll use very sparingly for just the most dramatic highlights when we want a real pop of yellow. Okay, there we go. That's a nice color string there. And then let's do another one with our darker colors. I'm going to wipe out my knife. And we'll get the phthalo green. I'm going to go ahead and grab phthalo blue and burnt umber. Pretty good amount. And then maybe a little bit of that purple. And let's mix those together. And that should give us a dark blue-green. Really dark. This will be a little bit different tone than this one because it's got the phthalo blue in it. So it's a little bit more on the blue side, which will work for our shadowy areas of our leaves and things, which we're not going to need a ton of this color, I don't think, but it's nice to have another blue or another green, a cooler green to work with. I'm going to go ahead and add the gray to this one to create our shadow color. And I might add just a little bit of yellow, maybe the rest of this yellow oxide. Yeah, so nice sagey kind of green. I'm not going to use a ton of this, but this will be like kind of that color in case we need it up there. And I'll probably use this color a little bit on our hillside up here maybe. And then let's make a yellow green, a dark yellow green. So I'm going to get my phthalo green and my burnt umber. Just do those two together. We'll add a little bit of the yellow oxide. Okay, so it's a nice yellow green leaning dark green. I'm going to put it over here next to this one. And then the other thing we're going to want is some purple, because I want to start adding purple into my distant hills too. Okay. How's it going, hon? Is Blick doing better, or is it still working?
No updates.
Okay.
So, but people are trying to buy it, so that's a good thing.
Well, that is good. So I'm sorry that it's not working right now. Of course it wouldn't work on it. Okay, there we go. Just cleaning that off so we have a clean spot to mix. So I'm going to use my Dioxazine Purple, maybe a little bit of the Ultramarine Blue over here, and then some Quinacridone Magenta over here. So I want 3 different purples, kind of a blue leaning, just like a regular purple, and then the red leaning. I'm going to get the white and add it to my magenta here. It's hard to mix around these greens. Didn't really plan out the placement of these very well. There we go. Okay, so this will be some of the highlighted flowers. Sunlight, they'll be kind of this reddish color. I'm going to go ahead and keep this one and just use it for the blue. It'll make it more purpley. I might use a little bit of the gray. Okay, that's good. Probably need more than this, but and then I'm just gonna mix the purple and the gray. If you don't have Dioxazine Purple, you can use the Ultramarine Blue and Quinacridone Magenta. We showed that for your purple. Makes a really nice purple. Okay. And then we can make some purple with the Phthalo Blue and Quinacridone Magenta too. Use that rest of that gray. And the reason I'm using the gray instead of the Unbleached Titanium is because the gray is a cooler leaning color, so it's closer to the base of these. The yellow, using Unbleached Titanium, would gray it out a little bit too much. I don't want it to turn gray. I just want it to go a little bit lighter. Okay, so there's some different purples to play with, and then of course we can always dip into the pure colors as we go. I'm going to add some more white and gray and Unbleached Titanium. I'm already running out of those. Sometimes I put too much and sometimes I don't put enough. It's just, it's hard to know how much to use. Mixing a lot of colors tonight though. It always uses up a lot of the light colors fast. The rest of these look okay. Maybe a little bit more of my yellows. Sorry about this. Yeah, that yellow oxide for this one. Got a lot of this. And we may not need these colors again, but just in case. I don't like to, when I'm like in the flow, I don't like to stop and add colors. I like to get this all set up, and then as I'm going, I can just dip into other colors as I need them. So just I'm gonna stay in that flow of creativity for as long as I can when I get going with it. I don't know if that makes sense. Sounds weird, but it's just kind of how it works. Okay. All right, let's get going here. Let's get some bushes on our fields back here. So I'm going to go ahead and get my dark blue-green and use that back here. And just sort of where I'm seeing the line of the fields. I might get a little bit of the yellow, the lighter version, because it's not as transparent. It's got that white in it, so it'll cover a little bit better. And really not going to do a lot more than this, just kind of dibby dabs. Brush kind of does the work. Try not to repeat your shapes too much. If you can help it. You can switch brushes if you need to. I'm gonna get a little bit of the lighter green, mix it in, or the more yellow green, I should say. Mix that in. And just kind of change up the shapes of the trees here and there. Just using that tip of the brush to create little random shapes. And going back in with the dark, kind of in the middle. Right where it hits the horizon there. Just darken it up. Okay. And then go ahead and brush that out and just use just a little bit of it just on these back here, just kind of in the darkest areas. Little tiny bit. Get some of that grayed out version. Use a little bit of it. Just little dibby dabs of bushes, things. You can use your finger to kind of help smudge it out if you need to. I'm gonna get a little bit of that yellowish color and come back in with that. Blend it off. Okay. And then I'm going to come right up underneath that and get some of this grayed out color, maybe a little bit of the, kind of mix these two together, these two mid-tone ones together, and maybe add a little bit of white to it. I'm just going to come up underneath the darkest part of those hills there and just add a little bit of that light color right there, and then I'm going to kind of hold my brush almost flat to the canvas and just sort of skim it. Okay, creating dry brush little sections. Okay, and then I'm going to get my purple, just any of them, doesn't matter which. Get the purple. I still have that green in there. And some white. And flatten it out again and come in and add some of the purple. And just thinking about how it kind of grows in clusters, so just trying to kind of mimic what you're seeing farther away like this. You're not seeing individual flowers or stalks or anything like that. It's just kind of flat sections of clusters of flowers that are kind of all growing together. And then as we get closer, we might start to see a little bit more detail. So back in here, kind of about the halfway mark, I'm gonna start putting sort of more like vertical type of things here happening. I'm gonna get some of this yellowish color, maybe a little bit of the unbleached titanium. And I still have that purple in my brush, so it's just all kind of playing together. Maybe not that neutral. Get a little bit more of that yellow There we go. So I'm going to go in between my purple sections. So I'll just add a little bit of this yellow here and there. Make sure you don't cover all your dark though. So you want some of the dark showing too. And then maybe get some of the dark and come back in with some of that and add it in and around some of this. Just a few dabs of that. Okay, that's about all I'm going to do back there. Not a ton. And I think I'm going to add some highlights to those bushes, but that's about it. So get some white and sort of smush that brush down flat. So I've got a little bit more of a flat petal, and I'm just going to kind of try to dab with the corner. And not loving that, so I'm going to try with the round brush. A little bit smaller space, shape. There we go. Get it with the round brush. Get some more of that darker color. Come back in. I just covered a little too much of it there when I was using the filbert. Yeah, so use the round brush. You can get a little bit more control on it. Just adding a little bit of this lighter highlights to my trees back here. Want the bottom part here to be dark, so the light shouldn't come down into this area right here where it's kind of touching the ground too much. It should just be kind of at the top-ish section there. And the trick is to get it to show up against that lighter background, so we're not going as light as the background color with it. It's a little bit darker than that background area, but still lighter than our dark green. Just to give it a little bit of highlight there. Okay, that works. Okay, and then we can do the same thing with this foreground area. I can get some of this light yellow, added a little bit of white to it, and come in here and just add some little dots and dabs here and there. Again, doesn't have to be anything super detailed. And then I can get some of my purple that I added before and just add a little bit darker color and add some little bits in my purple areas. Like that. Get some white. Maybe use some of the pink with my white. Show up like highlights. It's a little bit warmer color, so it'll stand out a little bit more than the purple. Okay. Let's do our foreground ones. So there's not a ton of them that are like visible back here. There are a few little sections that I'm seeing, so I'm going to get my dark color here. Just do a few little kind of mid-size branchy type things here. Just vertical little and we've already got this dark color, so it should really quickly go down into the dark area. We've got a little bit of the light showing through. What we're doing is kind of covering over some of this that we've done just now. So keeping it pretty loosey-goosey, nothing real detailed at this point. Okay. Then we're going to get the lighter blue-green. Maybe add a little bit of white to it. I'm going to do the same thing, but kind of do a little spiky. This should show up against the background. If it doesn't show up, just add more white. So it should be lighter than the background. If your background's too light, you might have to darken it up a little bit. You want your background to be fairly mid-tone dark so that we can go lighter and darker on top of it. So it's sort of right in the middle value-wise. Okay. So some little, again, keep it just little dots and lines, nothing really detailed, and just kind of doing like this with my brush. All right, now I'm going to start getting some color, but I'm going to stay fairly neutral with it, so I'm going to pick the most neutral of them, maybe this one here, and pick up a little bit of that greenish purple that I was using before. If you don't have it, just grab kind of this grayish purple and add a little bit of it, or grayish green, added a little bit of it to this purple, and then some little bit of white. And now I'm gonna kind of hold my brush sort of sideways and just tap, tap, tap little dots. If it doesn't show up, pick up a little bit more white, sorry. Oh, yeah, I'm getting a call from Hawaii. My son's in Hawaii right now. I think he forgot just to hit the green answer. He forgot. He's like, oh, sorry. So cute. They usually watch, these are my son that usually watches on Tuesday nights. They're on vacation time, Hawaii time. Okay, so there we go. So just like little nondescript dotty dots. Nothing real fancy there. Okay. And some of them you can kind of make a little bit more, like if you've got some that are a little bit more prominent, you can go back in and, like, usually I'll kind of just make a pass and sort of let what happens happen. And then I'll kind of come back in and say, okay, I want this one to be a little bit more detailed, and then come through and sort of do a few more little dabs, maybe a little bit lighter so that it sort of picks up the color a little bit more. Okay, and then we'll do some mid-size, coming just a little bit higher than that, and then we'll do some of the longer pieces that are in front here. I know. It's like, oh, sorry. Thank you. I need to mute my phone.
They were at a temple there.
Oh, cool.
We'll get some good pictures.
Yeah. All right. Trying to remember what this one was. I think this one was the Quinacridone Magenta with Unbleached Titanium and the Dioxazine Purple. I'm trying to see if I have it on here. This one looks a little bit unique too. Don't think we have anything quite like this. Like a lilac kind of color. More of a red violet. go ahead and put that as our last swatchy color. Because I know I've got this one, and these ones are all these kind of ultramarine blue ones that we've already done. So before I forget and use it all, I'm going to swatch it real quick. And these swatchy things are, you know, they're just helpful for your own reference. So just do what colors that you think you're going to want to remember how to mix them later. That's what that's for. So if you don't like the color, you don't think you're going to use it, then don't swatch it. But or if you don't have it, you know, just try to kind of get it as close as you can. So this one is QM plus, I think it was the gray, right? We used the gray. I'm going to have to look it up. I think there was a little bit of the Dioxazine Purple though. And yeah, I think we used the gray, right? I think we used the gray.
I can rewind.
You know, neutral gray, N8 gray. It only works if you remember how you mixed
what was in there.
Exactly. I'm like, you can use it to remember, and then like that's why you do that when it happens. I should have done that right when I mixed it, not waited till I forgot what I mixed.
And then at the end of this year, you're going to have what, 11 swatch cards or 12?
Yeah, I'll have 12 swatch cards. Yeah, one.
I mean, of all the different colors, and it's going to be a great resource.
Absolutely.
For
Yeah.
the long haul.
Yeah, that's the idea. So there's all the ones we've done: magenta and coral. Now I need to go back and do more indigo. I didn't do very many for indigo. I don't know why, but then there's the teal. So, yeah. And now our purple is complete. So I'll be posting that for y'all later. But yeah, we've got some good unique colors in there. That was a good addition because we didn't have one that was quite that color there. There's so many different combos you can do. All right, I'm going to switch over to my angle brush now. This is my favorite brush of the set. Don't tell the others, but this one is the one that I would buy on its own if it wasn't in the set, you know. It does just about anything. So I think I want a little bit more of the lighter color back here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and add, because I see a lot kind of like a grayish haze through here. So I think I'm going to add some of this gray color down here over the top of some of this dark that I did and some of my lighter greens. So this is where I'll kind of start to pull in these colors. So get some of that, get some of the purple, that sagey green, and then just that purple mixture, which is kind of similar to what we were just doing. And I'm just going to kind of do some larger splotchy splotches. And splotchy splotches, that's a technical term for them, in case you're wondering. This brush stroke is the splotchy splotch. Tip down and dab it, dab. Get in the light yellow, add it to that, and dab in some of that. Now this time I'm gonna try to kind of go think leafy, think my brush is a leaf. So I'm going to kind of, as I'm dabbing down, I'm going to kind of twist it to side a little bit. And that'll, as I'm kind of pulling down, I'm going to get these like little leafy type of shapes. So that's what I'm doing here. This whole area, and I'm not going to like not go over this either. So I'm going to go ahead and just pretend like that is not there. I'm going to go a little bit more concentrated down here though, because I don't want to cover too much of this up. But I do want the leafy leaves up there. And
now you're doing a lot of dabbing there.
Mm-hmm.
If you mess up and do some dippy
dabs are fine.
You can be okay?
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Any of that is allowable.
So some dippies in there with your dabs.
Right. Yep, all of that. All
okay.
of it's okay.
and what was the term that you used earlier? I already forgot it.
I don't either. I don't know. Talking about getting in the flow here.
Become one.
Exactly. All right, so now I'm going to start thinking bush. And I'm like halfway down, right? So I was like, this is the little baby section. Now I'm in the mid-tone section here, or mid-size section here, right? So I'm going to go start getting some of these in between the dark and the lights. It doesn't matter. We're just trying to create some little pockets of dark to light areas. We're going to have all this nice dark in here because we already put that in. So we shouldn't have to add too much of the dark. But the only time I'm going to maybe add it is if I get too much of the light covering everything. And then I need to go back in and add dark. So, which happens as you get going here. And I'm just looking at my reference photo and seeing where I'm seeing pockets of dark area. So I'm seeing kind of like a little pocket of dark over here. So maybe I'll get some of the dark and just leave a little area of dark in here. Maybe over here. And then I can start to put some stems in. This really dark color here. Just some dark lines through, and you can see how it's starting to add depth. It's just starting to push those back each time we add this new layer, and we really kind of do need to do this from back to front, because doing these like little ones at this point would be difficult with all this stuff starting to overlap them. Okay, so it's starting to look good, and we really do want to just keep it kind of random. I'm not going to get too fussy with my, brush strokes or each individual leaf or anything like that. Just trying to keep it kind of loose and get the essence of it. All right, so I think we can do some of our sort of mid-size flowers that are back in here. So let me go ahead and get that dark color, maybe a little bit of the purple and the dark green together. And these go above the horizon line, so they're going above this line here, and they're going down into about right in here somewhere. So I'm going to just start doing these lines, and if you can't get a straight line with this, you can use a liner brush or whatever works for you. Adding a little water to it can help make it easier to pull these lines. What?
Are rulers allowed?
Yeah, you can do rulers. Well, I wouldn't though, because
to be
these,
too straight.
Yeah, I think you want them to be kind of organic looking. So, right, then this one is my kind of star, so I want it to go here. Don't tell the others. All right, so something like that, and then over on this side, just a few kind of tall ones there. Okay, there we go. And then there's some shorter ones also that are kind of like in here. All right, so let's do the short ones first, because those will be the ones closest, and then we'll be covering them with the other ones. So I'm going to get the pink. And I'm just going to, like the top of these are going to, maybe get a little bit of purple. The top of them are going to be kind of compacted, so just like a tall spike. So I can go ahead and do all of them now because it's not going to hurt anything. This will help to kind of know where they're at as I'm painting. clusters of blossoms. Haven't opened yet. Some of them are bigger than others. Some of them are just a couple like a little triangle. Okay. All right. That's good. And there's some down here, but I'm not going to do those yet. Don't think. Okay. So there we go. And then we'll use let's go ahead and stick with this purple. So the brush stroke is going to be a dab, dab, dab on either side. Dab, 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 dab. And leaving a little space in between. That's it. That's all it is. And the stem should show through, so make sure your stem is going all the way down so that it's showing. Then as you get down to the bottom, they kind of are dropping off, so you're not seeing as much. So they're not too, depends on, you know, some of them have flowers farther down than others. But the general shape is just almost like a straight line across of dots, right? And they stay pretty narrow. So they kind of find their width and they sort of stay the same width all the way down, just about. Two or three dots, and then space, and then 2 or 3 more dots, and space, and then and they're coming from both sides, so you know, they don't, it's not just like one side that has the flower petals, it's both sides. So just get in a rhythm. You can kind of go slow or fast, doesn't matter. I would say kind of pick a style and do them all the same style though, you know, just so that it looks cohesive. So however you decide to do it. Okay. And we'll do a few in the front here too, so these are just the start here. And I'm really globbing on that paint too. It doesn't have to be thin here. You kind of may have to clean my brush out because it's starting to kind of having a hard time getting a clean dab out of it. It's getting pretty gummed up with paint. And these ones that are sort of in the middle back area should be generally same size, you know, so kind of pick your width and do them all sort of that width. Some of them can be smaller than others, you know, they'll just look like they're farther away. But these tall ones, I would say, you know, just kind of try to get them all sort of the same width and size. It'll look better, more realistic. It's really easy to do these, like you'd be surprised at how easy. If you just go in order, like I've been showing, you know, you can really put together a pretty decent looking flower patch. Just take your time. Do the little dibby dabs. We'll put some highlights on these, so this isn't how they'll finish, you know, but They're not that hard, really. And they're really fun. I find them very therapeutic. Just dab your cares away here. And fun. Isn't that nice? Okay. And we can do some up higher. I might do, I don't know. I think this kind of helps though. It sort of blocks off this momentum, you know, having these tall ones here. So, which you kind of need on this side because it's everything's sloping this way. So these kind of stop it and redirect it back up. All right, so here's the white mixed in, and I'm just gonna dab it on over the top, kind of top edge of some of these. Doesn't have to be in all of them, just a few. Try to get some lighter ones here. We did a lupine like this a while back, and it was the lupine with the waterfall in the background a few years ago. Long time ago, actually, because it was in a magazine in France. That artist magazine in France was, that was a long time.
That was a while ago.
Yeah. I don't think the magazine's even around anymore.
Oh no.
I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe it is Artiste magazine. It's fun though. They had me do the step by step for it. Okay. And just try not to overdo the highlights because they're what your eye is going to be drawn to the most, and you can kind of lose your shape of everything if everything gets highlighted too much. So you lose your values. So you need the dark and the light both, and the light is what your eye gets drawn to the most. So if you overdo it, it just kind of your eye doesn't know where to focus. Everything gets kind of washed out. And with so much purple here, we're gonna have to be careful. We might even, do a totally different color purple in the foreground here so that it is really different. But I think we're pretty good with that. And we could, if you did it on a square canvas, that's probably where I would end it. Do it that. And I might scrunch this up a little bit. I probably made this a little taller than it needed to be. I feel like that's a little smaller in the picture, but it's fine. And I think I might even add a little bit of this purpley toned color way back here. I feel like it's on these hills too. Just a little bit of that purple back there. But again, it's kind of set in stone back there, so we don't want to mess with that too much. All right, let's do our last little bit of grasses and flowers in the foreground. There's just a couple of large flowers that are, one's here, one right here peeking out, one kind of here, kind of coming across, one here, one here, and there. Okay, so those are our kind of foreground. They're going to be really large. And then we'll do our flower, or our leaves through here, and I'm gonna really use my brighter yellow and do some like little swishy leaves. And this is also, we can kind of define the bottom of these. So I'm just using my angle brush again, using my two brightest greens here, and I'm gonna swish up some sort of mid-sized leaves, and then down here I'm gonna go a little bit bigger and kind of just do these little clumpy, they have like finger-like leaves, gonna grow out. Look a little bit like marijuana, because I got in trouble for that when I did. I shouldn't have said that out loud, because now I'm going to get flagged. Video's going to get flagged.
Oh, man.
I know. But when we did the lupine with the bird, remember we did that one? It's out in the living room. They're hanging on the wall with the bird flying. The bottom half of the plant is green leaves and stuff, and I got a lot of comments about it looking like a certain plant. Can't help that it looks like that in real life, so. Right, so that's kind of what I'm going for there. Just kind of light kind of popping through. There's not a ton of detail. I'm going to get a little bit more of that bright yellowy green and some white. Mix those two together, and then hit some really bright little areas, kind of find where I've got the most bright areas and pop in a little bit more brightness there. And again, try to keep it, I'm just using the tip of the brush right down. Try to keep it loose and I think that looks pretty good. Get there. Yeah. Right. We'll let that dry. It'll dry darker than it looks like right now. Right now it looks crazy, but it'll dry down darker. Here, can I send that to you, and I'll show what we were working on.
What do you want me to do with it?
Just dry it for me, thank you. Try it. I'll show you what we're working on. Right now with my $15 tier patrons, they get a special Thursday live stream, and we work on a project all month long. So we're doing this. It's going to have roses and coming down, and a robin here hanging on the cage. The cage has just got its first coat on, so we'll put shadowing and all that, but it's gonna be really pretty, I think, when we get it done. So these Thursday videos are like more design oriented. We take an idea and then we work through it. So this is more from a bird cage that was kind of this size to one here. We talked about color the first week, and we drew out the design, made edits to it, made it elongated, and I do that on like Procreate on my tablet. So there's some Procreate drawing tips on there, as well as design and composition things that I don't have time to really delve into very deeply on Tuesdays. So it's a lot of fun, and it's all live streamed again, and you can watch the replays. We have last month, let me show you what we last month. I've already shared this, but this was our project last month. It took us, I think, 5 weeks to do this one, and this one is looking like it'll be probably 4 or 5 weeks also. So anyhow, that's on Patreon and down in the links if you're interested in checking that out. I really enjoy that I get to do that with my patrons that join me for the Thursday shows, because we have a lot of good camaraderie in there, chatting. That's more intimate because it's just me and, you know, a few patrons who can make the live streams on Thursdays. And so, yeah, it's really fun. So it's an opportunity to kind of ask questions and get a little bit more in-depth one-on-one time with me if you're into that. And also others that join for it. It's fun. All right. I'm just going back in here. I'm going to add a few there. All right, let's go ahead and do our little tops of these. And I'm seeing kind of some green in it too, so I'm going to get some purple and green and do that. So I see this one coming over here. Get the lighter green. Dab that on at the top of that flower. Not even sure that's going to show up as a flower because it's, you know, got so much going on here. Let's go ahead and get the Dioxazine Purple, a little bit deeper purple color. It'll be a little bit more, yeah, a little bit more dramatic value shift. That way we can see it. All right, this one's coming up here. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of just do the flowers off of it. And then from here, because we're kind of looking down on it, you can sort of see the shape is sort of, they're sort of coming upward. You can't really see it there, can you? Get a little bit of the white. Add it. And then, like I said, we're just going to be a little bit more careful with these because they're sort of our foreground ones. We can see a little bit more detail with them. Don't need to go ultra detailed though, because then it'll look, you know, odd from the ones up here. I do to add a little bit more detail to some of these. Here we go. All right. I'll get a little bit of the purple and this bluish one. Maybe not go quite that dark.
So it was September 2018 in the French art magazine.
September 2018. Mm-hmm. Wow, almost 10 years.
Artistes.
It's crazy. Is the magazine still around?
I'm having a hard time locating it.
Yeah,
I just have the email from my coworker where he found it, took a picture,
wow.
and sent it to me, and then
That's cool.
brought us a copy.
Oh,
You have it somewhere.
yeah, where is it?
You're asking me?
I think I know where it is. I think it's over there in that basket with all my old sketchbooks. I don't know if it's the one that has this though, because I did several of them. There was Rose, and there was a polar bear.
French words in there.
You think you found it?
I don't know. Let's see. Gotta get to it. It's kind of like my shed.
Yeah, it is.
Move
It's
6 or 7 things
exactly. I know.
one thing. You keep painting, I'll get it. I'm almost there.
Nice. Well, that would have been right when I started Patreon. Then that was because Patreon was 2017. Right after.
Okay, let's see. November.
Okay.
September.
So I probably put more flower. I always do this. I added too many flowers, but that's all right. Don't worry about it.
Alors, acrylic.
Ah, very cool.
Don't show them the cover.
Why? Oh, it's a girl. Oh yeah, naked lady. All right. Well, it is French, so I would not be surprised.
It's just those 2 pages.
Yeah. I was gonna see if there was another little section here that showed the. No, I guess
I'll
not.
look to see.
That's fine. All right. But that tutorial is on YouTube here, so it's not just in the magazine. You can go to my website to find it. That's probably the easiest way. YouTube buries that stuff after a few years. It gets just lost in all the different. We've got like literally 1,000 videos here on YouTube, so good luck finding it. You'd be scrolling for days trying to find it. Yeah, the black and white poppies, the polar bear with the red flowers, and then the red rose. I think those were the ones that I did for it. There was a whole
Bird nest.
Bird nest?
Is that one yours? Doesn't look like it.
No, it's not.
Okay, I'll let you get back to your regular stick.
Thanks. So I'm gonna do some pinks with these ones in the foreground. That way they're a little bit differentiated from the background ones. And maybe some darker magenta in the, maybe add a little bit of the purple, but like a darker magenta in the stem. Some of their stems can be kind of darker purple. And up at the top. This will help also kind of draw the eye down into this area and separate the foreground and background areas. And then let's do some kind of mid-sized sort of, just maybe make a couple of these like sort of more mid-sized. So, because I kind of have like really large, and then there's sort of a big gap between these ones. So maybe just do a couple of these in here that are a little bit bigger. this one's a little bit bigger. Okay, I think we're almost done here. Maybe this one's the bigger one here. Maybe this one. And it'll look like a lot of the same, but then we can kind of come through with some of the white, maybe a little bit of purple on the white, a little bit of pink maybe, and really highlight the heck out of some of these to pull them forward. And just, these are frontline girls here. And then maybe do the same on this one. Okay, and it doesn't have to be all the way down, because you think about the shadows would be hitting down here, so maybe we don't need all of them highlighted all the way to the bottom. Just kind of at the top. Yeah, like that. All right. Getting some of the white and gonna highlight some of these a little bit more and maybe make them a little bit bigger. Trying to kind of think about where I want these highlights to lead the eye to. So I think I want like this, and then it'll dip down here and then travel back up, and then maybe this one and this one are brighter. Okay, pretty happy with that. And then I get a little bit of the magenta and purple there. And just like every now and then I'm seeing these kind of little, just kind of seed heads, I guess, the leftovers of the flowers. So I'm just gonna kind of do a few of those here and there with the dark purpley color. Yeah, pretty happy with that, I think. I think I might, you could go in with a little bit of your sky color to glaze that back. So I might do that, get a little bit of the yellow and white with my glaze, and just the large filbert brush here, and just push that back, make it a little hazier. It's kind of too in my face. If yours might not need to be pushed back, mine was just a little bit too bright right there. Okay, looks good. You can do that anywhere else that, you know, it got a little bit too, like I might fade that out a little bit too. But yeah, all right. Well, thanks for my cousin to let us use her beautiful photograph. Thanks, Bethany. I haven't gotten to see her in a long time, too. Being in California, we don't get to see them very often. But she's got a really cool Instagram page, so I'll link it down in the description if you want to check it out. She's got some really fun stuff on there. Beautiful area of the country. She's got the ocean and the redwoods, and does a lot of lifestyle kind of things, and with her kids. It's really fun. I'm going to go in here with a little bit of this magenta and just kind of dibby dab some of that in, just to add a little bit more of that yellowish. Like I'm seeing now that the colors are a little bit more pink. It's probably because of the filter I used though, because I did filter it more pink. But I could probably overall have used a little bit more pink in my flowers. So I could go back through and add a little bit more pink here and there to just add a little bit more of that magenta tone, undertone, a little bit more lilac. That's just a personal choice. Yeah, I think it looks good. All right, I'm done for real this time.
You're done.
I'm gonna sign it.
All right.
Super chat.
Super chat. Yes, we have 2 super chatters tonight.
Oh, very sweet.
The first one's from Angela. She says, "Thank you so much. I so enjoy Tuesdays with Angela and Mark."
Oh, thank you, Angela.
Yeah, that's
sweet.
awesome. That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one was from our friend Carolyn.
Oh, thank you, Carolyn. Thank you, Angela and Mark, for all the time you spend helping us. Love this painting. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you for
So
coming to
glad
the
you liked it.
show.
Yes.
We love visiting with everybody.
We do. Really do.
Awesome.
So fun.
Yeah. Very, very generous, you guys.
Yes.
It's
Thank
amazing.
you so much. Wow. That was unexpected.
I know.
Very cool.
There's some great people.
I know.
All of our fans are great.
Yes. And thank you to our patrons too who
Mm-hmm.
support us over there. Makes these videos able to be free, and you know, otherwise we'd have to look for other income streams, you know. So it's nice to have that as we don't have to worry about how the YouTube videos do, you know, and can keep doing these for free for you guys. So I definitely could have made this about half the size. I don't know what I was thinking here. Probably right about here is where I should have started this downward slope here. Now that I'm looking at the picture, I really made that back hill a lot bigger, but it doesn't matter. It's
You
nature.
made it your own.
Yeah, it's exactly.
It's your own take.
Yep. Yeah.
It's what you see.
Right.
It doesn't have to be exact. That's not
No.
the point of this.
Right. Exactly.
I talk
I'm
like I
gonna
know what I'm talking about.
Use this angle or the filbert here and just do a final couple little leaves here over the top of some of the purple that we just did, and say hope you guys have a good weekend or rest of your week. I guess I was thinking it was Thursday. It's not Thursday, it's Tuesdays. I always tell that to my Tuesday night or my Thursday night people. Yeah, so have a good week. I guess it's the beginning of the week, pretty much. Sort of. Yeah, almost.
Close enough.
Mark had Monday off, so
I know.
it
And
is
Friday it was a long
beginning
weekend.
we did. We enjoyed it.
Yeah.
We just were completely lazy the whole time. It was great.
Yeah, we canceled travel plans because of rain.
All right, and then it didn't end up raining where we were going to go.
It rained on our travel days, which wouldn't have been
Yeah,
ideal.
we would have been driving in it.
Yeah, anyways.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
Sarah.
well, we ended up having 4 days with nothing to do at home. It was great. I enjoyed it.
Me too.
Back to real reality, though.
Back to life.
Back to work.
Fine.
Get to it.
Be an adult again.
All right. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with us again. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.